I'm recording. Alright. Hello! Welcome to Arcus in Tenebris. This is our inaugural episode, and we'll see where we go from here. If I could get everyone to introduce themselves and their character. By the way, I am the storyteller, Josh, so let's go down the line. Albreo, you mind if you start? You're muted.
I know.
Okay.
I was just having a sip.
Ah, okay.
So, I'm on video playing Fluke. Mage, apparently. Quite young. Looks 25, blonde hair, green eyes. Location. I think I need a typo in my sheets, but whatever. Smaller than average, normal build. As a day job is a technician in electricity and ICT. And the rest is for to do during playtime.
One second. Go ahead. Finish something real quick. Next is Nina. I sent the answer to your question.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up my character sheet. Can we pass? And then I'll finish pulling up my character sheet.
Alright, Jimmy.
I promise I'll be late.
It's alright.
So my character's name is Arthur Pendergast. He's 31 years old. He's right now he's currently doing the whole detective angle, helping smaller time people, people of lesser means get through their issues, and he's 31 years old, as I said. And I mean that's basically it. He's a private eye.
Alright, good to know. Next down the line is Thierry.
Yeah, hello, I'm Thierry. I'm playing Klaus Hauptmann, who is in his early 40s, and he's working as a forensic accountant and insurance adjuster. And he had a little bit of personal problem in the past, but we'll probably get to that in play. But then he suddenly found out that he had entropic magical powers that let him influence chance and stuff, which kind of turned his life around a bit.
As would anyone, I think.
Okay.
Alright, Janina, you're next.
So I play Tatiana Murray. She's a chick in her mid-20s, performance artist, but she gets by working at a restaurant. She's really good at getting tips, so she hasn't really aspired to much more than doing that. She's very she likes being clever and smart, and sometimes gets called out on her crap.
Alright. Okay. Now that we've got introductions out of the way, I think it's time for me to get this all started. After waking, each character grew along their path alone, but soon thereafter were brought together through providence, coincidence, and fate. Each of them found themselves at the Mesilla Valley Mall as evening approached, each about their own business, until each felt the flow of quintessence, the use of magic. It drew them to a disused section of the mall. Within, they found a woman fighting a tentacled monstrosity of some kind, surrounded by half a dozen of dead members of the beasts. After she killed it with a neon pink flaming sword, she began opening portals beneath the dead beasts, sending them somewhere else. As she was finishing up, she noticed our motley crew and decided to introduce herself. Mei Zhao. She recognized the group as what they were, but unfortunately she could not stay long because she was fleeing an enemy of her own. But she stayed long enough to explain that the world that they knew was a lie, that there were things and beings and monsters behind the scenes but they were special and should come together to keep each other safe. She also explained that there were other groups of magi like them, of every stripe around the world. However, they were down their path far enough that they were not likely to be accepted by them, nor acknowledged by them, unless they had accrued enough power of their own to be left alone. She told them that there was more, much more, but she couldn't stay long, and she needed to leave for, if not her safety, then theirs. She wished them luck and hoped to meet them again in the future. Ever since, the Cabal has pooled their resources, helping each other gain understanding and strength. However, they had seemed to avoid the darker elements of the world at large that Mei Zhao had told them about until now. And recently, a odd case crossed Klaus's desk. A series of thefts had began to occur throughout the city. However, the one that came across his desk culminated in the discovery of a corpse of a botched robbery. The body was completely filled with necrosis, and the coroner had all but completely covered up the entire situation. But the thing that made it to his desk was that the botched robbery ended up happening because the homeowner happened upon the thieves and shot one of them with a shotgun, which opened up the body and ruined a antique couch that Klaus's company is insuring. So after following all the, looking up all the information that Klaus had available, he started recognizing that this is more than just a weird case, and has decided to bring the rest of the Cabal together to investigate this. As far as his employers are concerned, they have very little interest in looking into this matter. They're happy to just pay the insurer and move on. However, your mage senses are tingling. Now we should open up with with Klaus, probably just gotten done with a long day. Probably leaving your work. So, tell me what your plans are.
Well, something's definitely wrong here. So the question is if we can get access to the body maybe and find out if there are some magic, some kind of magic residue or something like that, or maybe if we can just maybe follow some breadcrumbs from the actual place of the murder or something like that. That would be my first two ideas.
Sounds good. Do you call the group together at your sanctum? Do you just like ring them up and say, "Hey, what something weird came up"? What do you do?
Yeah, I'd definitely go there and see if someone's already hanging out there, and if not, I'd send the rest a text message or something and say, hey, there was something at work that smells mighty fishy, and maybe we want to look into that.
The group's sanctum is held at a storage rental facility. It is 2 connected adjacent rooms, one large one and one another one half the size, 65 feet by 65 feet, and then 32 feet by 64 feet with the connected door. There are mystical runes on the floor. There are shelves with all sorts of alchemical agents. And in the smaller room is a workshop with what would, to the untrained eye, would seem like a normal, mundane machine shop, except there are weird jars filled with, biological components, or and also filled with strangely whirled pieces of wood, and little things here and there that seem a little off, that wouldn't necessarily be there. But as Klaus arrives, is there anyone at the sanctum already?
What time is this coming out at? Like in the game, what time is it?
It's current time, current date, but it would be, I'd say he got off work like at around 5:30. Took like about 20 minutes to
5 to 6-ish.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Not quite evening yet.
No, I think that my character Arthur would be at his agency, just trying to hope that somebody else comes in, or working on a case. Like, he wouldn't close that early.
Okay. Anyone else?
I will probably be at the sanctum, decompressing after a shift. Look, reading some book or something of the like on post magic.
Alright.
It's pretty certain it's kind of bollocks, but it's interesting nonetheless.
Where would Tatiana be?
I think she put some message in the Discord.
Oh,
So
She is occupied by work.
okay. Okay, well, I'll say that she is probably off work, but is off doing her own thing at the moment. So with
Sorry. Just right now, just assume that there was an issue over at her job that she had to go fix.
okay. All right. So Tira, you want to send like a text message or something?
Yes.
All
Yeah. I assume that we kind of prepared for something like that, so we'd have contact details of each other.
Yeah. Probably even have like a group chat of some kind going.
Yeah.
So I think everyone except Tatiana, because it sounds like she's hung up at something, would come over to the sanctum to talk it out. After filling everyone else in,
yeah.
everybody, what are everyone's thoughts?
Out of character, what do we know about vampires?
Actually, in the World of Darkness, vampires have covered up. Vampires are kind of obscure, in the setting. I mean, if you've done a lot of research or have a particularly high occult roll, then you might know what they are off the top of your head. But aside from that, it's not likely that you would know what a vampire is.
Okay. So basically, I know all the Hollywood tropes of vampires, and that's it.
Actually, there aren't even a whole lot of vampire movies in World of Darkness. Bram Stoker's Dracula did come out, and I think there was a movie, but other than that, there really hasn't been a whole lot of, exposure, because the vampires are like, nope, let's keep ourselves quiet.
Okay, thank you. I don't know. What do you think that would cause this? Kind of wait for an entire. How decomposed was the body?
The exterior.
Wait, so are we already all?
The exterior of the body looked absolutely normal. But however, we're talking about 3 inches, 2 inches past the skin. It was completely filled with necrosis. The bones were still there and functioning, but as far as the muscle is concerned, not only should this person not have been up and moving at all, but they also wouldn't have. They should not have been they should not have been concealed within the body. With that type of necrosis, outgassing should have occurred. Pretty much anything involving this body does not make sense at all. I should also note that there were also 3 other thieves that escaped, but as such, the body was like completely black and rotten on the inside.
Yeah. My first assumption, but we would need to find out more, is that this either was a practitioner of entropic magic and maybe something went wrong, or he was dying and he did something to prevent that, or that he was the target of some kind of weird either entropic or life magic or something like that. Which still means that we should find out if he did something stupid that we need to cover up, or if someone else is out there killing people.
Yeah. Up until now, there's been like about a dozen or so robberies that they can, for like upper end, not necessarily the richest of the rich, but some like higher upper middle class, that are rich enough that they would have, valuables on hand, maybe even cash in the safe. And there's been like over like about 24 of these robberies. There is a one of the things that like also kind of like makes you lean towards an entropic mage is all of the footage around that time all gets glitched out. So that that combined with the state of the body screams entropic magic.
Yeah, sounds very much like it. So yeah, the question is, does someone have any connections to the morgue or the medical establishment, so we might get access to the body? Or what's about the place where the body was found? Is that public, or how could we get there?
It is a private residence, and as a agent of the insurance firm, Klaus's character should be able to get some access, not necessarily unsupervised access, but you should be able to like be there with like about one or two people to look at the damage and what the insurance company is likely to pay for.
Yeah.
So as far as when the guy who shot him, did he make anything else of note? Like, did he say that the guy was moving around in a weird way, or that he was like doing something else? Like the guy who actually saw him, did he make any other notes?
His official report was he was in the kitchen making dinner, and he ended up hearing movement, and he lived alone, so hearing movement was a big thing. And he, as someone with fiscal money and resources on hand, he armed himself, came to where the vault was being stashed, and saw 4 individuals who, once they saw him, they started to run out the back door. The homeowner was able to take a shot at one of the thieves who had one bag of his vault's contents, safe's contents. However, the other three had at least one more bag. Half the contents of the safe were taken. But when the homeowner shot the thief, they sprayed all over the couch. From a legal standpoint, everything except the body and the weirdness of the break-in is all above board. As far as the behavior, as far as the behavior of the thieves, they just turned and ran. They didn't like perform any weird feats. They weren't like, weirdly jiggling out the door or anything like that. They moved like normal people. Or rather, they moved enough like normal people that he did not note them doing otherwise.
And so as far as the contents go, what was it? Was it just money? Was it... what was the actual contents that they were trying to take?
It was... I think I have it noted as $40,000 in cash, some jewelry, and some. Also in the safe were like about half a dozen various documents of important note. The homeowner was a stockbroker. So there was enough money floating around in there that that they felt that they needed to have something on hand.
It's not never gonna work again money, but it's still worth stealing.
Yeah. But also of note.
Any other ideas?
Also of note, the other robberies were very similar, and had a same amount of roughly a same value of take. Once again, not never gonna work again money, but once you add it all up, it's definitely stick it in a bank and type of thing. So there's that.
Out of play things. So we do know about the other crimes, or
yes, the other crimes would be referenced to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they would be referenced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do we have the name of the guy who was killed? Like, can we look in? Do we have his name?
He didn't. He did not have a wallet or any other, identification on him. And his body has not yet been ID'd. Which, given the setting, is not that unusual. Because the World of Darkness, a lot of people fall through the cracks.
Oh, okay. So, as far as how do I say this? How long do spirits linger in a certain area? Like when if they're killed off, how long will they just be there?
Oh, you mean?
I mean, I don't know, because my character has spirit, but I don't know how.
When it comes to the spirit or ghost of a person, that's different than other spirits that would be about the place. The thing about spirits is they are all over the place. Like, literally everything in your field of vision right now has a spirit attached to it to one degree or another. So it would definitely be doable to, if you get there, ask the spirits that happen to be there what they saw. And that should definitely be, well within your ability. Spirits are, assuming you can get them to cooperate, spirits are really good when it comes to trying to like observe things, because they are not seen and no one knows that they're there. So yeah, that it is very likely that the local spirits saw something. Also, it would also be well within the ability of a correspondence mage to see the site of the to look at the site of the robbery, and given the fact that everything the security footage glitches, to like ostensibly look at the public transit and all the CCTV footage and follow the glitch. So that is definitely a thing that is possible. But that would be like, that would definitely have to be a roll. And another thing that you have to understand is you guys are not police, and this is a response to an insurance claim, which means that there has been a significant amount of time that has passed. So
yeah, that is.
But it hasn't been too long that you wouldn't find evidence to follow.
Do we know what the goal was of the thieves? Like, what is the common thing?
They were just stealing valuables. If
At least as far as we can tell.
Yeah, without having to go on site and investigate or talk to the policyholder, it is entirely possible that perhaps there was something weird, but you wouldn't know that until you kind of like talk to them in person. So someone with someone with mind could, try and like ferret out like, hey, is this person hiding something, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Another course of action that would be possible is looking up. Another course of action that could be possible would be looking into the current state of this case, which once again, as a insurance adjuster, would definitely be possible. Yeah. Because you are tangentially related to the case, so it is not impossible for you to ask questions.
Just out of curiosity, because I have Streetwise too, could I do a roll to see if I've heard anything about that would be affiliated with those cases that are going on?
Yeah, you can roll. You can always roll.
Okay. Plus, I want to figure out how to use the robot.
So yeah, what you can do is dice golem is a nice generic thing where you could hit /roll and you go whatever number D10 and it'll roll it for you. However, the roll that I would kind of need for a Streetwise would be Streetwise plus wits.
Okay. Alright. Last roll. Oh wait, it's D10, right?
Yeah, everything is D10s.
Yeah. The only thing that can and will change is the difficulty you need to roll.
Yeah.
I think you need a space in that, yeah. That looks like one success.
Oh well, what's the? Oh well, it's the 10. That's gonna be. What's the target?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's not as easy as a 5, but a 10 is always a success.
Yeah.
And if you have a specialization, it's also 2 successes.
Yeah. With that roll, you to our listeners, he rolled a 10 out of his dice pool, which counts as 2 successes. With that information, you learn that the string of robberies has been going on for about has continued since, but is it has continued since. However, they have been going on for like about 4 months now, and especially given the type of people that you talk to, they kind of look at it like in a jokey way. It was like, oh, the poor little rich people, had their stuff stolen. Oh, ain't that sad? But there aren't a whole lot of there isn't a whole lot much you can glean from it, because your contacts versus the type of people that are getting robbed don't jive well. But as I said, the robberies have been happening for about 4 months, and afterward, it seems like there is talk. Don't know if it's true or not, that there might be some active cover-up of the situation, because response from the law enforcement has been file all the paperwork and then come to an immediate conclusion. And since there's no one been arrested, everybody is saying cover up.
Can I tell? Do I know how often the robberies are? Like how far spaced apart they are?
Generally, I'd say that they've been happening like every other week or so for 4 months, which is a lot, especially when you're dealing with people who can get the ear of the upper levels of the police department.
You said some time has gone by because this is not, or we are not involved in the police investigation.
Yeah,
but in the
I would
insurance case.
I would say.
Has there been a robbery since the dead guy?
Yeah, there's been 3 since that robbery.
Okay, so they are still going. That
Yeah.
that is also, I think, an important. Yeah.
Yes, they are still going.
If I don't, do I have like, cause I know, can I get the locations? Would it be possible to like, pin them on a map to see if there's a pattern?
I mean, you could, but, no, okay, yeah, I'd definitely say that for that, I'd have to get another Streetwise roll, because I'm not sure that, with 2 successes that you get that kind of information, at least through Streetwise.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. Same roll or?
Yeah, it's the same roll.
Cool. Let's see. Roll / roll. In.
Okay, that's 3 successes. As far as the location of robberies are concerned, they do tend to happen in, higher end neighborhoods, but at the same time, there does not seem to be a localized area. If there is a pathology to the victims, it's not readily apparent.
Okay. The last question I can think of is there like a, I know there's no localized, but is there like a set distance between each robbery? Like the houses are within a certain range, like maybe 1 or 2 houses apart, or 1 or 2 miles.
The spacing of it looks random. As I said, there doesn't seem to be like a connection of victimology, other than that they had things that could be stolen at a high enough value to make it worthwhile.
Okay.
Yeah, there does not seem to be a workable radius, really, that to try and narrow things down with. It's just it really does seem like they are hit, or they are using a victim pool that does not make immediate conventional sense.
Well, I would maybe bring a little bit of magic into this and take the map with the burglary cases and use entropy and time to maybe see if I can pinpoint where they would strike next.
Okay, yeah. Let me take a quick look at.
So I meditate, take out my tarot cards, and it would probably take a little bit of time, though I'm not familiar enough with the system to know what I would need to roll, or how that would work.
You would roll the highest used sphere, but since everything's pretty much at 2, so 2 plus your arete, which is another 2.
Okay.
So, you can also spend a quintessence to make it easier.
Yeah. Since I'm using entropy and I have a personal focus, that would also be -1 to my difficulty, I think. Quintessence is also -1, or
Yeah.
how does that work?
Yeah, quintessence does.
And normal difficulty is 7 in this case, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally speaking, as far as
Yeah,
difficulty is, the pool that you are generally using is arbitrary +3. So that's your target successes. I should also note that you are doing this in your own sanctum, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Then
But R2 +3 is basically unbeatable. How's that supposed to work?
well, no, I'm saying okay. Actually,
no.
1 second. Let me go grab my thing real quick. 1 second.
I have to admit, I'm not 100% on the up and up with mage rules.
All right.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, 1 second.
For me
yeah,
too.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, my storyteller screen was not where it was supposed to be. Let's see.
Damn it.
So I'm gonna say that, considering what you're trying to accomplish, pardon. Assuming what you're trying to accomplish, I'd say that you have a likelihood of success if you get like about 3 successes. So, and considering that you are
okay, then I'm not doing it.
No, what I say, but
no,
what I'm saying is, but you do have a specialized foci, and you are, and if you spend a quintessence, then you are down to a threshold of 1. So all you gotta do is get 1 success. So.
Okay, I don't think it works that way, but I'll do it. So my difficulty stays 7, but I need less successes. Okay.
Yeah. At least I think so.
Well, as I said, I don't think it works that way because none of the other World of Darkness games work like that. But
Okay.
maybe it does. I don't know.
Well, as I said, I'm kind of new to the system, so.
I rolled 2 9s, so.
Nice. So, looking down the skein of fate and the position of the map and all that, you do have a decent idea of what you have a decent idea of where the next one will occur, and you have an idea of, like, it's going to probably be within like about 4 days. But the thing when it comes to fate is it is probability spikes. Most likely it will happen in 4 days at the set location. So I'd say you do have 4 days starting tomorrow to set up a sting if that's what you like, and try and do further research.
Yeah, we should spend the 4 days finding out more, but we probably should be ready to in 4 days to hang out there and see if they show up or not.
So yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Let me go use the bathroom, and then I'll try to jump back and pick up full again.
all right. Another thing to consider is what is your motivation with this group? Are you looking to stop the thefts? Are you looking to find out how they are doing it? You know, don't get me wrong, it's weirdness and you should follow it, but you know, what are you looking to accomplish?
I'm mostly trying to find out what's behind it. If I'm not really concerned with stopping the thefts, because I think that is the job of the police. If they can't catch these guys, then well, good for the thieves. But I want to find out what this weirdness is. If they are mages, or maybe if one of their victims is a mage, or something like that. That's just what's interesting me.
Okay.
Arthur is the way he sees it. It's mostly people who are desperate are the ones who want to, uh, who resort to burglary and stuff, and he sees it as like somebody did die for this too. Like whatever's going on, like the necrosis or whatever, there was a situation that guy got into, and that he ultimately died for, and I guess he's trying to. I guess he wants to know why. He wants to understand or see what's going on, and if it can be stopped from happening again, or if there's anything that can be done. Although, like a world of darkness and
Yeah.
all that, so it's not likely.
You know, when it comes to the world of darkness, there are varying levels of badness, and you know, some are excusable
Yeah.
and some are not. So yeah. So let me check something real quick. One second. So, given the strangeness of the body and all that, it was disposed of. However, considering that there was no further information, and you know the state of the body, it was put into a potter's field, which is a graveyard that you know, either no one knows who they are, or the person who died was poor and didn't have enough money to have a proper funeral. But I'd say it is within the possibility that you could research where the body was buried, and you could possibly look up, take a look at the corpse's prime structure, and do some research that way to try and figure out what exactly this individual was within your concept of what's out there.
I mean, that's definitely a lead that that Arthur would probably like to take. But, yeah.
Let me real quick.
Okay, so what's the nutshell I need to know?
The nutshell is, let's just also see if I take my notes right. There's a body that's been has some weird going on in its decomposition. It's expect supernatural tomfoolery, and we're now trying to figure out the link between the deaths and the body. We
as a
came on this as Klaus or diseases.
So there's only been one body. It was buried in a potter's field, and there have been other robberies still. There have been like 3 other robberies since, but there have been no other bodies except for the one.
That we know of?
There is the body was one of the thieves that was shot mid robbery, and although the robberies have continued to occur, there has been no other there have been no other deaths attributed to these, and the motivations of the thieves just seem to be trying to acquire fiscal resources, normal robbery stuff. What makes it weird is how they are getting in and accomplishing what they are doing, and the fact that all CCTV footage glitches during the time that they are start doing their activities, and then it kicks back up normal after they leave.
So so Al, what do we know so far?
Well, Thierry did some divination, which says in 4 days there's going to be another robbery, and you know where it's going to be. So you guys are planning on staking it out when it happens. But in the meantime, you could there's still more research to be done. One of the ideas is go to the Potter's Field and use your prime site to try and figure out what is weird with the body. There are also possibilities that you could follow to ostensibly follow the glitch throughout the city CCTV footage. And I'm also open to further suggestions for avenues of research.
I was trying to see if
another
past
thing.
life. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, I was gonna say another avenue is maybe we could go to the police station or see if we know any cops we could talk to and see if we can get a straight answer out of them. Like, why is it buried? Have they heard anything about this? That's another.
Okay, that is definitely
think.
possible, and as a PI, that is understandable that you can do, but you're gonna have to kind of like come up with a reason why you are
He's into it.
Yeah. Because this isn't your case. You have not been hired by anyone involved. You're officially, you would be like ostensibly asking about a case that you have no stake in. So you kind of got to come up with an idea as to why would you be asking these questions. It's doable. You just got to like sell me on the idea.
Well, I mean, I have a real estate investigator that's curious. He just give me $1 and say, okay, take this case? I don't know how PI works, but that...
Okay, because you are you're not a police officer, there is no, like, official paperwork. So...
Yeah.
So you don't need to have, like, an official, like, you are on the job. Follow the evidence. What I'm saying is you've got to, like, what are you going to tell the police to justify your interest in the case?
Do we have a... I don't know if this would be another streetwise role, but do we have a picture of the guy's face that was killed?
The corpse?
Like, did they take a picture of his face, or do we just know that the details of the inside?
Given the type of information that you have, I would say that you wouldn't have that information on hand. But someone with correspondence could try and ostensibly hack into the coroner's computer and look up their findings, which would include a picture of the face.
Okay, can I try to do that?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll. As I said, I may be doing the magic wrong, but at the moment, but if you use a quintessence, it will lower the difficulty, and if you use a specifically attuned tool for that sphere, it will lower the difficulty. But considering what you are trying to accomplish, I'd say that you just need two successes. Because
okay, well, I'm going to use my cell phone too for the viewing.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the arete plus the sphere number, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Slash roll or D10.
Yeah, you definitely succeed. You do get a picture of this person. It's difficult to try and get to say 100% what they look like alive, but they look very pale. Like, granted, they're blood loss and all that, but they look really, really, really pale. On top of that, areas that would have a pooling of blood on the body, like around the fingertips and all that, even that is pale. Are you looking to try and do a facial ID on the body?
Yeah, like to see if there's any, especially anybody missing.
That if you're trying to find that, I'd say that's another correspondence role to look up the missing persons reports of the police.
Okay, can I? Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was gonna be streetwise, but yeah, that works too.
Well, the reason why I say streetwise wouldn't work is that's you would be looking for someone who may or may not be local, that may or may not. I think it would be a easier easier role to do to search the police database.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. You do find him, but it does not add up. It's an old missing persons report. By old, I mean like about 18 years.
And he still looks the same.
Yeah,
I mean,
he still looks the same. With he looks sicker, but he does not seem to have aged. And the causes of his disappearance were somewhat strange. He just up until this point he had like a minor rap sheet, and he was like a low, sort of a thug, but nothing big. However, the days leading up to his disappearance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. He was not dealing with anything that anyone would have wanted to kill him for. He was just like there were rumors that he found a new girlfriend, but no one ever met her, and there was no evidence of a. There was evidence that there were other people in his bedroom, but there were no photographs, there was no evidence of a particular person or their identity. But once again, because he was sort of like a low-level thug, there wasn't a whole lot of interest as far as the police were concerned. They get, a low-level thug disappearing is just another day. As far as the police were concerned, they were, they were happy that they didn't have to worry about him anymore. But that being said, he does not seem to have aged a day in 18 years.
Hmm. 18 years.
Interesting. Do we have any idea of these? Do we have any idea if there was a similar series of deaths 18 years ago?
As far as deaths, like his, there was nothing that there was nothing like that going around that time period. He was, however, he did, there were other deaths, but nothing that had such a weird body, and certainly nothing along the same lines. If one were to guess, they would say that his disappearance and what happened to him lately are all but unrelated, because there's nothing to link them together other than the person.
Did he have any in the document? Did it say that he had anything like was he affiliated with a gang or any specific kind of group?
No, he was.
I'm not hearing Josh.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
ask.
He has been cutting out for me a bit, so I don't know if you guys noticed the same.
I mean, this is the first
Yeah.
time he kind of like just went completely silent.
Yeah, no, he's glitched out a couple times for me too, but I do know he's recording. He's doing this from Alamogordo, where I'm at work in Deming. Maybe. Speak to me. Okay, so while he's figuring himself out, so far all we've done is we're just trying to identify what's going on with the guy who died, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
path we're going down.
All right. Once we've exhausted that, I do have an idea which might be helpful.
Especially considering that it's evening, if we want to go anywhere and talk to anyone, it would probably be best to wait for the next day. But at the moment, we've just been investigating.
I mean, like my character. Yeah, I mean, my character does plan on going to check out the grave, see if we can figure out anything there.
Oh,
I don't know if anyone wants to
you
go
hear me
with
now?
him.
Oh, I'll definitely
Yes.
come with
We
you
can
if
hear you now.
want to.
I have no idea
Yes.
why what happened. Okay.
Yeah, Discord does stupid shit.
Fair enough.
I'll just blame it on you being out in the boonies right now.
Fair enough.
That as well.
All right. So there was question. So did I get caught out in the middle of a explanation?
You got cut out in the beginning of your talking.
Yeah, I didn't. I heard no, and then just quiet.
Oh, he was a, to use the term from police drama. He was a small-time scumbag. He was not associated with any other gangs. He knew a couple people that were in one gang or another, but as far as his own personal affiliation, there was nothing. He basically from what you could tell was he liked to drink and he liked to get rowdy, and occasionally stronger stronger drugs, but not anything that was high end of interest. He was just a small time douchebag, but it did not nothing what he was did not seem to contribute to his disappearance. He wasn't important enough for a gang to have killed him, and he wasn't it was not likely that he would have just disappeared without making some noise. So it was just one of these he just up and left, and nobody knows why.
Weird.
Okay.
But considering that,
So I have.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your statement. Nope.
But-
You go first.
But considering how old his disappearance was, it's not surprising that the police didn't put 2 and 2 together.
So our bigger focus right now is figure out who's doing this robbery for our client, which is the insurance company, right?
Well, it's one of these. As far as the company is concerned, they're like, okay, whatever, just pay him. Because everything that they would put on the paperwork doesn't make sense to why they wouldn't be able to justify it. The reason why you guys are coming together is this smells like it's up your alley, that there is something that is not normal about this whole situation. And as far as you guys are your own client, your motivations are your own. The real question that you're looking at is, okay, somebody's doing robberies, but they are using a method that is more up our alley than the police's.
And then, so Terry did divine a potential place and time.
For the next robbery.
The guy who died at the last one, yeah, and for the next robbery. And then the guy who died, we've determined he was actually he went missing years ago, and this is still the same guy,
Yeah.
probably.
And he does not seem to have aged.
Yes.
Okay. So Jimmy had an idea?
I mean, once we were done with the conversation here, he was going to go to the grave to see if he could figure out anything from the body. That's what was on it.
Well,
Unless we want to keep talking while we go there, but
well, I should note that it's like about, by the time that you guys have gotten to this point, it's almost 6, and considering that this is everything is darker and more dangerous than the real world, do you really want to go gallivanting in a graveyard in the evening in the World of Darkness setting? It can wait until morning.
how late does the sun set in the World of Darkness? Because right now the sun sets at like at 8 where I'm at.
Well, yeah, we could. I guess what I'm saying is, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you don't have to do all that now. It can wait until morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You guys do have a deadline of 4 days, but there's still a lot that you can do in that time. And
Right.
so research and all that is key. Just don't feel that you need to do all the things all at once.
Well, no, I was just thinking because I have the ability to like dream trance,
There is that.
and so, but I didn't know if that would be more effective at the graveyard or not.
Mm.
And if we're not going to be, do at least one spooky thing during a game, right?
All right, fair enough. All right. Let me. look up the Potter's Field I'm thinking of. One second. Here it is. Let me send this in Discord. There you go.
It's actually listed as a pauper cemetery.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Ugh, poor people.
You know what sucks is I've driven past this like I don't know how many times and just wondered about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, it's really creepy. It's basically a giant gravel area with grave markers here and there, and no really official upkeep outside of gravel and death. It's very, very sad and
Looks
bleak.
really grey on Google Maps. Yeah.
It even depresses Google Maps.
So to be fair, I assume this is not the area for a lot of grass. But
No.
yeah, it
There's
looks just
zero
like a
grass.
concrete-
It's just, have you
concrete
seen
field.
people do those gravel landscapes?
The Zero Escape.
Yeah, the
It is just that sad.
So yeah, it's
But that explains that.
yeah.
well, on the one hand, the GM is absolutely right. Going to a graveyard after dark in the world of darkness is a stupid idea. On the other hand, the whole surrounding area looks like a stupid idea to go after dark. So
Mm-hmm.
let's keep that for tomorrow at noon.
Yeah.
All right, I'll listen to you guys.
No, what else? I'm so we can like move on to the next day if no one else has any research ideas.
No, I
Yeah, that's
don't have anything to add.
Okay. Well, then let's
Yeah, I think
let's do a relatively quick interpersonal thing. Everybody goes home. Let's go down the list. Flux, what's it like at your place? Albreo?
It's fluke. That's why I didn't
Oh, fluke.
respond.
Sorry. I'm dyslexic, so my brain went.
No worries. Just explaining why I. So yeah, I think I get into the van, drive home, lock everything, go into the keys, check under the bed, see there's the dust still there, then go to sleep. I imagine.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, what's your
I
house
guess
like?
noodles for some pasta or something. box standard low income third
Okay.
world house.
Okay.
It's in order. It's not a health hazard. It's not a violation of construction codes or an inhabitable. Just box standard house, smallish, crammed with all kinds of junk,
Okay.
and a fridge that's overfilled with food.
Fair point. All right, let's go down the list. Tatiana, what's your place like?
I actually live in one of the apartments over the restaurant that I work at,
Okay.
and it's kind of one of those. I don't know if you've seen some of those outdated, like, downtown type places, but it's very it's kind of one of those restaurants that they'd call a hole in the wall but quaint at the same time.
Mm.
And the apartments know better. It's more of a utilitarian efficiency type place, just because there was like a bigger apartment for the people who owned it, and then they had a couple of smaller places for people who also work there. But it's really simple. So it gave me a chance to go and get some time in at work, as well as do, pull the bed down from the wall and plop down into it with my
So a
takeout
Murphy bed.
container of free food.
All right.
Haven't you seen those ones that you just pull them down from the wall?
Yeah, they're called Murphy beds.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
All right.
Murphy bed? I thought you said murky bed.
Murphy in that
Yeah.
Murphy or a different Murphy?
I think it's a different Murphy, but yeah, I've seen them before. They look like a closet, but then you basically pull out a bed,
yeah.
and they
Yeah,
they
well, I
are
renamed
like
it the Murray bed because I thought that would be better.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. Arthur, what's your
whatever,
place like?
whatever.
It's a one-story house, small yard. Uh, he has a doggy door in the back, so because he's got tired of animals just kind of like scratching up the door, so there's a doggy door in the back. I'm not sure if there's any pets right now, but the first thing he does when he comes in, is he turns on. He looks with forces to see if he's looking for like bugs or anything because he's paranoid. Uh, there's a big tree in the front yard too. I have to mention that. Let's see what else. Big tree, doggy door.
White picket fence.
Uh, no, he's got a he has a he's got a like a gate, like a chain link fence, but he leaves it open all the time. The only thing is he has like a lock around it. It's just he always forgets to open it up and put it on before. But he's like, well, animals come in anyways. Um, and yeah, for the rest of the evening, if there's a case he's working on, he might look through that or just uh try to finally catch up on one of the books he's reading.
Okay. And Klaus.
And in the cupboard, he just has a bunch of No, I just said he eats a lot of Chef Boyardee stuff. That's all I was gonna say.
All right.
That's his typical evening meal.
Okay. And Klaus, what's it like at your place?
Yeah, when Klaus goes home, he probably goes by some kind of grocery store, picks up a little bit of food to cook, and then goes home, which is a 3-bedroom house at the edge of town, probably one of the better suburbs. It looks a little bit empty. It has a driveway and a 2-car garage, and as I said, 3 bedrooms in the second or on the first floor. ground floor, first floor. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
It looks well made and rather newish, maybe built in the last 10 or 15 years or something like that. But yeah, it's a little bit empty. He seems to live alone, which in that house it's definitely too much room for him.
So he rattles in it.
And then yeah, he'll probably put something on.
There's
Yeah.
he
And
rattles
he'll
in the house.
put yes, and he'll put on something on TV and cook something and then sit down and probably fall asleep on the couch, and then in the middle of the night when he wakes up he'll go up to bed, and yeah, that's mostly it.
Okay, so everybody lives alone?
Yep. I got a goldfish.
Pretty much.
All right, what's the goldfish's name?
Squishy.
Squishy, okay.
So we're all going to be murdered by Squishy, noted.
Yes, he is my squishy. I will call him Squishy and he'll be my squishy.
All right.
I know that line.
Yes, I'm Dory.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was thinking.
And call him George.
All right. So unless anyone has anything else, we can open up to the next day.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, anyone have reasons why they would tell their work, why they're going away at lunch break to go look at a grave?
My shifts are usually in the evening, so
Okay.
Well, I'll just file an expense report. I'm out of the office 70 to 80% of the time anyway, so no one will bat an eye.
All right.
I have no mobile thingy anyway, so I drive around. Drive around and do the shops anyway, so yeah. Can take some breaks.
Okay. And Arthur runs his own business, so he doesn't have to answer to anyone.
Yep.
All right. So, so you all drive up. It is, given what it is, it's especially sad given how small of a graveyard this is. It's all pretty much covered in gravel, but without even like looking up anything, you can see there is one plot that looks very, very fresh. There's still dirt peeking up underneath the gravel. And there's a small little, like about 3/4 of a foot tall cross sticking up out of the gravel. No name or anything like that. And the surrounding area is low end industrial equipment storage, and the odds are there's nobody around to look at you or anything like that. This is a very abandoned area of Las Cruces. So, you guys are pretty much free to do what you'd like without getting seen. So what do you guys do?
So I have the ability called well, it's called dream, but you get to go into a trance, and
I will position myself then to keep an eye out.
yeah. So, blah. But from a trance, you can pull amazing bits of knowledge, 4 dice for the task.
Okay.
Originally, it's
I'll keep both my time and entropy senses open to see if I can sense any use of magic or any weirdness going on.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna
Arthur, what were you gonna do?
I was gonna try that prime thing that you suggested. Look at the weaving to see if something's weird about it.
Okay.
But I was gonna do it after the dream thing.
Okay. So, Tatiana, what do you roll for this dream thing?
you get 4 dice for that, and then I could also use past lives to augment it, which is another 4 dice. Sorry, 3 dice for dream. Well, I got 3 dots for dream, which gives me 4 dice, and then the past lives is an additional 4.
Okay.
And just to basically kind of putting it out there, focusing on what the heck is going on, type of a
Okay.
trying to find out what I need to know as far as what's been going on.
Okay. Go ahead and make the roll.
It's /R slash, right? Or
It's slash roll,
not
you
slash
/R.
8d10.
Can... There you go.
No, it
1 second. Let me do it for you. One,
Yeah.
2. Oh,
Either
yeah.
and of
slash roll.
course.
Either /roll or /dice roll.
Yeah, I did it
depending
for
on
you.
which
All right,
one
hang
you
on a
use.
second. I gotta get this.
Yeah, I rolled for you. That's pretty successful.
Pretty good roll.
To the point where, as a storyteller, I'm like, wow, what can I cover up with this? And the answer is not much. I'll wait until she gets back.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure that's 5 successes, which is kind of like mastery of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's probably why that the reincarnation. It's like you can just do it once, or the past lives. Is that the thing? Oh, wait. Yeah,
Yeah, I think past lives is limited to.
once per session.
But it's pretty good. Though to be fair, it also has downsides. If you botch the roll, then you really are.
You can.
Word that you can't say on YouTube.
yeah.
Well, I mean, there were some sites there was some YouTube channels where they were complaining that they can't even say what young people are.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Well, then again, like most of those
It'd help if I
limitations.
put my microphone back down next to my mouth.
Okay. So you got a butt ton of successes. So you can pretty much ask anything
Yeah,
that
it
you
looks like it.
want. You can ask anything that you want, and I'll
Okay.
tell you what things are pretty much.
Okay. Basically, who is behind these burglaries and how are they taking place?
Him and his three other co-workers / friends stole a artifact from an enemy of their boss after they were sent to disrupt his business, but you get the feeling that this isn't making money business. It's more along the lines of organized crime, except you are dealing with conflicting definitions. You know that your definition for something is not what his definition for something is. For example, his buddies working for his boss, they all love his boss. They are all in love with his boss. And they all know that each other is in love with their boss, and they would do anything that they can for his boss. So you are getting the feeling that his definition of what his boss is not the same definition as what your understanding of what a boss is. And also that his friends that stole this artifact are bonded to each other in a way that you really can't explain.
All right, hang on. I got another call. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. With all these successes, I gotta
find that artifact. Yeah.
With all these successes, it's
Would you
I'm kinda
mind
stuck.
reading the section of the bosses? It kind of got confusing for me there.
yeah, it's one of these. He would describe them as his boss, his employer, except there's a stronger bond than that. When she gets back, I'll put in some mental imagery.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it's. I looked at that roll. I'm like, wow, I'm giving away all the secrets now.
We started out kind of slow in doing the investigation.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have a good plan. Sometimes you just have to be lucky.
Yeah. It's one of these that there were plenty of opportunities that I was going to lay in. It was like, oh, you could learn about this or you could learn about that. Whereas with this many successes, I might as well just show you my notes. So.
It still has to write the questions. So.
Yeah, that's why I worded it that way. Because in theory, depending on what she asks, things could get very open within the concept of what this individual knew. So yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to keep this in the concept of a fey bargain of this is what you asked, this is what you get.
All right, just because you like fey bargaining.
All right. So, you keep on coming back to the concept of his boss and concepts of attachment and love and affection while still being professional, and you keep getting an image of him kissing her inner wrist, and then a feeling of exhilaration.
Okay.
And your character is not understanding. You understand that she is giving something to him, but you're not able to put together what exactly is going on. He's drinking from her, but it's not quite making sense. As for his friends, they all share this bond with their employer, and there is no the way that everything is shaped out to be affection. You would think that there would be like some conflict, especially given who these people are, all thugs of one sort or another. But so you're dealing with this weird situation of how he feels for his boss, and how he was sent to mess up his boss's enemy, and then his friends had an opportunity to steal this artifact. And when they stole this artifact, they discovered that it could open doors, portals between, ostensibly you could create a door in a wall or create a door in a box. And after a while it was just so easy to just do, but as things progressed, each of them seemed to feel sicker and sicker and sicker. But because of the strength they had, because of their physical strength and what you understand as their bond with their boss, they didn't get weaker. So all these impressions are just like normally you'd think that this, of all the information that you're getting, that this would be a very, very easy thing to understand, but the definitions are mixing up in your head. So through the strength of his boss, all of them could take being sick without getting any weaker. And although they are happy to and love to work with their boss, stealing all this stuff is not going against their boss, and is not, their boss wouldn't get anything from it. So they're like, fuck it, we'll make money on our own, and then no harm, no foul. And everything was working just fine until he got caught this one last time and got shot. As far as his friends go, they did not see. They saw that he got shot and fell, and they left without him. But he didn't show up, and they were too afraid to try and involve anyone else. And since nothing seemed to come up, they went, okay, I guess it's not a big deal. Since then, they're still doing what they're doing, but as far as you can feel with this body, it is finally being able to fall apart to its natural state of decay, which you get the feeling wasn't an option before. And I think that's the information that you get. Any other questions?
I do, but I don't know how to word it. Where can we find the artifact?
The artifact is with his buddies, but they for some reason they end up going from place to place to place. You get the feeling that this was like that their boss was used to moving around because they didn't like having one place to that they could lose. So their friends are still out there, but he doesn't know where they currently are. He's got a couple ideas where they might be, but they're so spread out would be difficult to find. As far, anything else?
Do you have any advice for me, Osage Ghoul? I mean,
Now that's the
any
question that threw you off.
And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what his individual.
anything I could do? If you had one last thing you could do before leaving this world, what would it be?
He would his spirit, mind, and all that, it would say, shoot up and get laid, because he's that kind of guy. Nothing particularly helpful.
Okay.
So yeah, your character is like, well, that was weird. I don't know what the hell this boss thing is, or all that, but everything that we are particularly looking for seems to be involving this artifact. Do you want to know what it specifically looks like? Because I would say very easily that you got images of it, through this.
Oh yes, please.
It is a broken medallion. It's mostly circular, but you could tell that there is that at the bottom of the circle that there was a additional piece that's been broken away, and it was a substantial piece. It was there's about 2.5 inches of broken off fringe of this. I'm gonna say it's a brass amulet of some kind. So yeah, the weird thing about this is you get the impression that this device had more than one function originally, and how it's working in a broken state now. However, as of right now, it seems to be working good enough for what they want to do, but it is definitely having effects on them.
Okay.
Like, the more they used it, the sicker they got.
The only. Okay, but the only I guess the only other clue I got as far as his boss goes, do I only see images of his boss as just that wrist?
If you're looking for his boss, I would say he would know what his boss did. She runs an art gallery and is a patron of the local art scene. I can come up with a name in a minute. Her name is Belinda Sanchez, and she, her focus is mainly the arts, and the upper, especially upper levels of the arts locally. But
Okay.
it's very clear that she did not know at all what he and his friends were doing with this amulet. As a matter of this, this thing, you get the impression that she doesn't even know it exists.
Okay. But she didn't even know, like, her ghouls, her boyfriends were getting sick. That's what I found odd.
You kind of find it weird that that although they were attentive to her needs, she wasn't really attentive to them. And although there were feelings of affection from their side, and she supported those feelings, you get the feeling that there wasn't a whole lot going on her end. You know, a toxic relationship if we're trying to think of their situation as romantic.
I don't know. I was thinking like maybe she was like some crazy BDSM mistress that doesn't really care about. And that's part of the thing. Anyways, I'll shut up now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can get off of this guy. What were you guys planning? I guess what was being planned next?
Arthur wanted to do the weave for the prime to see what he could figure out.
All
right. But as far as my ghost goes,
unfortunately, the best I can only tell you what he would respond. I can't volunteer information.
you can only what?
I can only answer your questions. I can't really volunteer information.
So I can't ask him what they were planning on next.
The next job has already been done. It's already gone, and he has no idea what his friends are doing next because they've already moved past the plans that they had. You got to remember, there's been 3 robberies since.
Do we know the system behind them? Behind the robberies?
What do you mean?
Isn't it the artifact?
Is there any logic behind it, or is it just?
Well, I can only tell you, how he felt about
That
it.
That is actually a question I do have.
Okay.
That's fine.
How they used it, they realized that they can get it to make these like holes in walls and stuff, and that it covered their escape. It was not only did it create holes for them to go through, but it also kind of created a hole in observable footage, metaphorically. And as far as they were concerned, they held the broken talisman up and mentally pushed it into action, and then afterward they felt a little nauseous, but only the person that was handling it at the time.
So only the person that uses it gets sick.
Per
I guess you guys were taking turns then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to get our hands on this artifact.
Me too, very much.
The fact that it's incomplete makes me want to complete it. But anyways.
Yeah, get it, test it, and then either fix it or destroy it.
All right, well, I guess I've gotten everything I can get out of him.
As far as the object itself, it isn't. There is no like ominous aura affected with the object, or like it's parasitical in nature. You don't get that a feeling like that. You get the feeling that the reason it is doing what it is doing is because it's broken. It's sort of like throwing a nut in your gearworks. It'll strip gears. It'll make it work inefficiently. It'll eventually it'll break down, but that's how it's acting. Is like there's like a little nut that's been dropped in amongst the gearworks. It's the reason it's acting the way it is because it's
not
broken.
evil. It's just broken.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, if a car is broken and dangerous and you can't fix it, you'll still junk it because it's still dangerous.
Mm. But, especially in the setting...
So
I've known a couple people who will sit there and... Just saying.
Fair enough.
Sorry. No, I was saying I know a couple people who will sit there and treasure it even though it's junk.
As a matter of fact, from the impression that he had with the person that he stole it from, you get the idea that that's what they were doing. That they were holding it as a historical artifact, as a trophy. They weren't actually using it. And then, him and his buddies found it and went, yeah.
Okay. Kind of makes sense, yeah.
I believe Arthur wanted to scan the body.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, please.
So you open up your prime site, and
Do I need to make a roll or?
Yeah, actually. Well, yes, you should make a roll, but when it comes to these sensing rolls, I personally kind of feel once you get to like the third level, you just kind of do them. But you guys aren't at the third level yet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it's Arate plus.
Yeah, if I interpret the rules on page 500 right, you always roll your Arate level, and the difficulty depends on if it's coincidental or vulgar magic, and how many successes you need depends on how big the effect is you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So
and
perception should always be one success.
Yeah. This is all just like perception.
Yeah. And as long as you don't fail or botch a roll, in theory, you can keep rolling and just continue. What's it called? forming the magical energies or something. But if you only need one success, that doesn't really make a difference.
Okay.
Alrighty. Also, I'm going to be using my cell phone as a foci. So no, wait. Never mind.
So
You have a magical phone scanner?
the question is this coincidental magic or vulgar magic?
Mm,
I don't.
well, if you I'd say if you're using your phone
No,
and and that's what you're doing, you could hypothetically say that your lens is just looking farther than it normally would. So I'd say it falls pretty coincidental, and there's nobody around other than you guys anyway.
Oh, okay. No, I was wrong. The phone is correspondence. The Jasper stone is prime. Mistake.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, if it's coincidental magic, then it's the highest sphere you're using, which for perception is only level 1 plus 3. So the difficulty is only 4, which is already pretty low. And then you can reduce it, but the minimum is 3. So if you have anything that reduces the difficulty, like a personalized instrument or spending quintessence or something, you can push it down to 3.
Yeah, I guess I'll spend a point of quintessence too.
All right.
All right. So,
And yeah, then you roll your arete, so 2 dice, and you need a 3, which should be pretty doable.
okay, I rolled. Mark it.
So yeah. So yeah, it looks like you. I guess you'll give me another roll because continuing success because you're like halfway there. I think.
Another roll.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. I think.
What do you mean halfway there?
Well, you said that you can have a continuing as for
Yeah, but he only needs 1 success. You
Oh,
can't
okay, never
continue
mind.
on 1 success.
Never mind. My
Yeah, that's how I was confused.
all right. My brain. Okay. Anyway, so
Yeah, it's early.
you. So you look. So
You could say he needs more, but though on the other hand, I don't know. I thought we all had arete 2 and not 4.
No. You're right. You're right. As I said, I haven't had my coffee yet. So you look down and you look. You look through the gravel, and you look through the dirt, and you look through the cheap box, and you look at the pattern of the corpse, and it is just from it's been only it hasn't been all that long since it's been shot, but it is all but bones now. But you can get the feeling that by the time this body was allowed to fulfill its pattern, it was it was dealing with the body was dealing with a lot of abuse, and not conventional abuse either. In addition to what the amulet did, it also the fact that it existed far longer in one state than it should have been allowed to do. It was an unnatural prolongment, and we're not talking about a tweak of the pattern here, which which was like far more morally acceptable. You look at what this body was, and it's just, you look at it and you're like, that's wrong. It should not have been able to be that way. Something down in your at the base of your spine goes, that's not right. Whether that's just a moral revulsion or, intellectually, what you look at this body, you're like, this is like about 5 types of wrong in one body. And now that it is actually allowed to progress in its decomposition, you can feel that there is more peace here, like a relaxed, peaceful experience than the body's pattern has had in a very long time. And any other questions as far as what you can see?
Can we, in some manners, determine if there has been magical interference in his aging or something like that?
Leading up to the final death of this body, the corruption that the body went through this broken artifact, if this was a normal person who used this artifact instead of what strange power kept this body going, they would have fallen apart a lot sooner. Not only would they have, gotten sick, but their ability to do stuff would have plummeted quickly. So this was a weird mix of what the artifact could do and the fact that their strength and that their unnatural strength allowed them to continue to progress.
As I'm looking at the body, I'm gonna try to phrase this, cause you know how you said there was like, they were in love with their boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any kind of like thread or pattern that pulls towards something else, or like they're there and it's in a nice, neat, corrupted but neat little like cut off thing, or is there any like thread or anything that pulls towards anything else?
Like what do you mean? Like,
well, like, you know how you said, like, is there any still
any
like for
causality?
the corruption that went with them? Is there still like, are they still like connected in some way? Is there still like a thread or any kind of thing that points to?
No. This is something that happened to them, not something that they were led to. As far as the causality, as far as the causality or entropy involving this individual, or connection involving this individual, once they met their final death of this once they died, their connection to everything else broke. They,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And strictly speaking, that is an interesting use of correspondence. The way you were suggesting it, that was almost entropy-like.
Oh, was it entropy?
Well, no,
I thought it was
no,
correspond.
no,
Or
no,
is
I'm
it
saying the way that you were describing the use of correspondence was almost entropy-like.
Oh, okay.
But it's not connected to anything now. It's a part of other than its natural processes. Well, it's now natural processes of being in the earth.
Alrighty.
Anybody got anything else?
Not really. I mean, that was the last thing I wanted to see if there was any magic involved in his aging or the necrosis, but we got our answers to that.
Yeah. But it sounds like you guys have gotten all the information from the corpse that you are looking for, unless I'm mistaken.
One more question. Does he know the current location of the boss?
You,
The last known
I was like,
location of the boss?
you know the name.
Last location would have been good.
Well, as I said, she was.
It was Brenda Valdez.
Yeah. She and she owns. He would have known that she owns a particular art studio, and with the name of the studio and her name, it would not be very difficult to even mundanely look her up. However, she is not. She is indirectly a part of this case, and from all the information that you got, you are distinctly certain that she is not aware of what they are doing.
I just got that brown feeling that we should try to avoid her. I know. Seems so like weird that you have that your boss keeps people for 20 years of not aging. Or almost no aging. How old was he by the
he was in his mid-20s when he stopped aging. But I should also point out,
so given someone,
given how he lived, though, if he had continued to have aged, he would have aged very poorly, considering the type of abuse he would have put his body through. Okay, I gotta step away for a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
well, we now know where not to go.
I mean, from what we gathered, the boss doesn't didn't know what was going on, so she might probably just be a dead end. Although I'm fairly certain she's into some other stuff. But as far as like the robberies, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're almost there, I imagine. Wait. Forgot to ask how they are armed.
How they're armed?
Yes, all the arms the thieves wear.
That's
Oh.
true. I need to call the unit. I'll be right back.
Alright.
I mean, I can't imagine they were armed very well because when the guy came out shooting at them, there was 4 of them and they ran. But still,
Yeah.
Might just be in the strict orders to not make a scene.
yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Did you get all the information that you were looking for?
We had one more question. What weapons they usually carried on them?
Oh, they, during the robberies, you mean? They,
Yes, the robberies or just in general.
just, generic 9mm, no, pistols, nothing particularly fancy or all that, but definitely something that they could make noise with. But given that they, what they're doing, they, you could tell that they were trying to avoid making noise, so to speak, which is why they ran.
Okay, back.
I was wrong.
And honestly, it's as far as they were more surprised than anything to have the homeowner be there, because the car wasn't there, and they weren't expecting anyone there at all.
I'm hearing birds in the background. That's really cute. Who's got the birds?
I think
it's mine.
Yeah, I think Jimmy's got the birds. So anything else?
Oh, I was gonna ask, how long are we gonna have our sessions for? Like, I'm fine staying, but I'm like, should I try to push on further, or like, do we have a?
We could stop it now. Like 2.5 hours is good. It gives us something to think about.
You would prefer it if we would cut it closer to now than much
Okay.
later.
Okay, cool. Then let's put a pause on this.
So
right
like
now.
2-ish per session is what we're kind of looking at.
Yeah, let's go for that. everybody got 5.
Yeah,
Everybody got 5 experience points this session. Honestly, my main kind of focus is I want to make sure everybody gets 5 experience points up until everybody reaches Arate 3, because that way you can kind of explore what it's like to have a relatively low and then be like, holy cow, I could really do things now.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody fill up all the lower spheres first, and then get RT 3, so we can. So we can.
I mean, you could do that. I wouldn't suggest it, but you could.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well, I'll have a think then about improving some skills.
all right. So if we're kind of wrapping up now, then but where's everyone's thoughts about everybody enjoy this? Is there something that needed to be changed?
Yeah.
I think I'll do
what
better
might
when
help-
I'm not distracted at work.
Yeah.
What I was thinking too, it might help you is that you could create a channel like the assistant has in the El Paso one, where you have your DM screen, so like any information you want to look up, you could just scroll and get it.
Okay.
Maybe keep it like in order or something. That might help.
Yeah, fair enough. As I said, I'm kind of new to doing this, and I haven't actually played Mage, so I'm kind of like flying by the seat of my pants here. But I think we got a good thing going.
Yeah, I had a lot of
So
fun.
do I.
Okay.
I do enjoy the mystery.
It's funny though, because it kind of. Oh, I think they scared away the birds. It's funny. It's funny though, because it reminds me of the other game where like we don't seem to like talking to people too. Like we're still trying to figure out, even in this group, we're trying to figure out how to do things without like just going and trying to talk to the homeowner.
Well, it's also one of these, your Tiri's character has an excuse. None of the rest of you do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
what's got a glorified electrician to do with somebody that got buckshot into the afterlife?
Yeah. And it's not that you guys can't do that. It's just, give me a reason why you would, I'd be happy to work with like anything that you give me. Okay. So, are we about ready to wrap up?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. We're getting the hang of it.
All right. Hope everybody had fun. See you guys next time.